I'm Dr. Daniel Piper, curator at the Musical Instrument Museum. In this segment of Up Close with a Curator, we'll be talking about musical instruments made from oil cans. In many cultures, what we think of as trash is turned into musical treasures. Consider this popular scraper from the Dominican Republic called a güira. It's made from a standard cooking oil container. The musicians take the container, cut it with a machete, and with a hammer and nails, create hundreds if not thousands of small nodules to scrape the instrument. The same instrument is also made with stainless steel and used popularly in merengue, bachata, and other genres of Latin music on recordings and in dance clubs around the world. This is a very innovative instrument, and it was originally made and still made today with recycled everyday materials. One of the greatest inventions of an ensemble of musical instruments in the 20th century is the steel pan orchestra from the Caribbean island of Trinidad. People are surprised to learn that the steel pan is made from huge 55-gallon commercial oil containers. The history of the steel pan from Trinidad is a fascinating and exciting story. Early in the 20th century, Afro-Trinidadians were prohibited from playing animal skin drums. At the same time, hundreds of steel containers were in their backyard from the oil industry. So they decided, let's create a new instrument. They took these oil containers and began pounding the upper surface to create musical notes. Some of the early instruments had just 8-10 notes on it. Then they began to form entire orchestras with all different ranges of instruments. And the sophistication of the steel pan today is really incredible. This is an instrument with a bell-like tone, it plays calypsos, even plays classical music from Tchaikovsky. Here we have an example here of a modern steel pan, tenor steel pan. You can see here all the individual notes on it in the way that it would be played. The steel pan today is celebrated around the world, not just in Trinidad. And this is another amazing example of an instrument made from oil cans. One of the most remarkable examples of musical instruments made from trash is the Recycled Orchestra from Paraguay. In a town built on a massive landfill, families eke out a living collecting and reselling the trash, and musical instruments can't be found. An orchestra instrument like a cello would cost more than a house in Cateura. So director Fabio Chavez began to build revolutionary new instruments from trash, such as this recycled cello. This cello, the body is from an automotive oil container from Brazil, recycled woods, and a spatula to hold the strings. This instrument and the flutes and violins in the rest of the ensemble have transformed these children's lives. Take a listen to this recycled cello. You'll be amazed at how it sounds. So what drives people to turn trash into musical treasures? Well, these three examples of musical instruments made from oil cans show visionary leaders who strive to preserve musical traditions in their communities and ensure that future generations continue to be music makers. Thanks for joining me for this segment of Up Close with a Curator, and I invite you to come to MIM and be inspired by this and other musical stories from around the world.